Welcome back to the drama llama that is F1 2012 co-op season with Ben.
Hello.
Hello. Well, we had a bit of a drama last time. We were we were having a bit of a rubbish race anyway, and then obviously it was so bad that my PC went, I'm not having any of that, and it crashed to desktop. What it appears to have done though, and we're a bit annoyed with this, is that it's not allowing us to restart back on that race. It's pushed us straight to China. And there's no particular rhyme or reason as to why, and there's no way how we can get it back. So, bit of a poo, that one, really.
Yeah, but we'll soldier on. I mean, it was disappointing because obviously in the last race you had some misfortune with your tyre choice, and then just before we crashed, I took quite a bit of damage and suffered some gearbox problems. So we probably would have both been DNF anyway. So,
the last two, definitely.
Yeah, so we just cut out the middleman. But I was running a healthy fourth at one stage. And again, it's a case of so close yet so far. This is one of my weaker tracks. So maybe it could be an irony. My two strongest tracks, both poor showings. Maybe this time we could have some luck, huh?
Absolutely. Just having a quick look at the Drivers' Championship. We've got Schumacher leading it at the moment, ahead of Hamilton and Alonso, Webber, Vettel, Raikkonen, Grosjean and Massa. Button still yet to score. So we're in good company.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for better than that. Where are we in the constructors? Are we still... Oh, we're dead bottom. We are dead bottom in the constructors.
I'm impressed with that. Things will change. It will go our way. It really will.
We're competent drivers, we promise.
So we go and get a takeaway?
Onwards and upwards.
Let's do it. Now, the Chinese Grand Prix, or the track itself, I think is not a very nice track.
No, and I'd agree with you there. It's not a particularly. I don't think it's necessarily conducive for good racing either. Actually.
No, I can't think of a good race that has happened around here. I'd like to see what it's like in the rain, because I think turns 1, 2, and down at the hairpin. Remember, there was one year where it started to rain at the end, and there was a big pile up on the last lap into the hairpin. I think that would be quite good fun.
So taking a look at the weather, we're due no rain on either day, unfortunately. We're on a aggressive research and development path that is going nowhere because we don't do practices.
Never mind.
Okay, so no-brainer then. Back onto the options, and let's see what goes on here in the quick car setup. Now, I'm always at a loss here because there are some quite demanding corners, let's say, but likewise there's still enough of a straight that I want to keep the downforce as low as I can feel I can get away with. So again, I'm not running we're using the quick setups as always. I'm not running the driest setup, but one to the left of that.
Okay, I'm only going one to the left of the middle. So you've gone one further, I think, over than I have. So that'll be quite interesting to see how that pans out.
Yeah, we can compare some notes, and maybe I'll switch down depending on how we handle, because
you won't be able to, will you?
Oh no, you can only set your. Oh yeah.
But that will mean that you will absolutely maul people down the straights.
Well, you'd think, but actually, what I found is that cars, regardless of setup, when you're racing the AI, have a hierarchy that seems pretty much fixed. The McLarens and the Red Bulls are top of the straight line speed, followed by Ferrari, and then you've got Lotus, then Mercedes, and then I believe Force India, Toro Rosso, Williams are pretty closely bunched. Sauber falls in just above those and behind the Lotus Mercedes pack, if I recall. So basically any cars lower down the pecking order, we should be able to take on the straights almost regardless of setup. But that isn't happening here, as Kovalainen burns me completely in his plucky little Caterham.
Aww, meows.
Is it Caterham? Is it Caterham? This is.
I
something-
say Caterham. But
Yeah,
I
I
prefer
say-
Caterham because I'd really want them to have like a little Hello Kitty on their car. That would be awesome.
Should write to Tony Fernandez. As long as it's in British Racing Green, I'm sure he'll take it on.
Cool. British Racing Green Hello Kitty.
Yeah. Okay, just made my first mistake.
I love the way different people take turn 1 as well.
My mistake there was the at the second to last corner. I used the 100-meter braking board instead of the 150. And so I was 50 meters shy of braking correctly, because most turns in this game I found if you brake on or around the 100-meter board,
You're all right.
you're pretty much set on the standard setups anyway.
Yeah. That is very true, actually. There's only one or two that you need the 150 or the 50 in occasion as well.
I don't think I've ever braked on a 50 braking board. Probably says more about my innate chickenness.
There's only a couple. Just trying to think of one now.
So what would you say are your weakest tracks, the ones that you're hoping to improve on?
Spain. Spain.
Spain is a weaker track of mine, definitely. And then somewhat more controversial, Canada. My Canada performances, looking back, have been atrocious, and my qualifying is even worse. I just don't feel like I can open the taps on that track.
Okay.
Always holding back. Where's that braking marker?
Whoa! What was Schumacher doing? He drove into me! Idiot. Never change your spots. Like a swapper never changes its knickers.
You're the new Bruno Senna.
Oh, and then I just decided to bin it all on my own accord as well.
You've got the advantage over me by 1.5 tenths.
Awesome. That was a competent... I was in mix 2 as well. I forgot to change up the mix, so there's time to be had. I can just limp it around on mix 1. I can have another go, hopefully. Oh dear. Yeah, Spain has always been a problem with me, and the reason for it is because you need to have a setup that is stable, because you're constantly in a long, what I call long radius corners, which are basically corners that go on forever and are like perfect 180 degrees.
Yeah.
And I struggle with those, and how you take a Campser like almost flat out, I have no idea, because I never have been able to. I always brake too much for that. Other tracks that I kind of struggle on. Nürburgring? I don't think it's in this game, is it?
I don't believe so.
No, but I've always struggled on that in games in general anyway. And specifically for this one, I love Melbourne, but I'm never particularly fast at it. But I wouldn't say it's like a bogey track, because I have had some good results there, because it's always normally like first race of the season, everyone else crashes out in like online stuff.
I've just leapfrogged you for 16th.
That's disgraceful.
With what seems to be a slower lap.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure I was in the 139s, but apparently my best lap is a 140.35.
Ah, what was
there
that?
You go again. Oh, that was a nasty crunch, I heard.
Okay, back to the pits.
That was goodbye front wing. Damn it. Right.
So this is frustrating as well. I need to learn to put more fuel in my car when I go out for qualifying, because he's just told me now my tyres are at optimal temperature and I have to pit for fuel.
If I can remember, I always put it from the standard 5 laps to 6, and then when I'm not having a lolling fit at the fact that I'm on a co-op season and doing terribly, I will mix 1 it on the opening lap. So then it can just give you a 4-lap run comfortably.
That's a good strategy, actually. I should try and follow that. I'm surprised to hear you say Melbourne's something of a bogey track. Well, although you said not necessarily, but you know what I've encountered online is that competition at Melbourne has always been people bring their A game. Actually, it's always been people's strongest showings.
I think that's why, because whenever you're on an online league and that's the first race of the season, I think a lot of people spend their most amount of time practicing around there. So I don't necessarily think it's a bad track for me. I just think other people do more of a prep for it. Whoa! And
I've lost the pit entry again.
I wish there was better camera angles of it. Do you remember when the Toyota got climbed over the top of by another car on the way into the pits in here in the rain?
Oh, I've got a penalty for going backwards.
Oh no! That sucks.
It's alright, it plays to my
strategy.
Yeah. Where is the pit entry?
Go straight on the final corner instead of that awkward 90 degrees.
Yeah, I did.
What F1 tracks would you like to see back on the calendar?
A1 ring.
Hey, I love that track. It's such a little cute go kart. Yeah. I'd love to see goats in a cart, but no.
Now the A1 ring is, as far as gaming goes, always been my strongest track. Always. And I also thought it was reasonably entertaining. Other tracks I'd
take, isn't there?
Other tracks I'd like to see back. Magny-Cours.
Okay.
Just for fun. And I'm actually not so sure about anymore. It's more sort of, I don't like the idea that we're losing a lot of the European heritage of Grand Prix racing. I know that's quite a controversial opinion and they've got to go where their money is, but I kind of think there should be a French Grand Prix. There should be an Austrian Grand Prix.
I'm surprised there's not an Austrian Grand Prix considering Red Bull is Austrian.
Yeah, and they've got the Red Bull ring, haven't they? Which isn't that the A1 ring rebranded?
Yes, with a couple of extra corners on, I think now.
Yeah. Although I guess it would be a bit controversial if they let that onto the calendar, given that one of the teams owns it.
Yeah, I think that might bugger them up a little bit now. There's talk of the Mexican Grand Prix coming back, isn't there? Because obviously Perez went to McLaren.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to see that. I mean, I was really glad to see the American Grand Prix last year go so well.
Yeah, and that's a track that actually deserves to do well, because I know it's kind of gone, we'll just yoink the best corners out of everywhere and give it a go, but works fine for me. It's like having a best of all. And
you know, America's always been that nut that's been really tough to crack for Formula One, and I'd like to see that change, definitely.
I think Formula One will always be second to what they've built and done themselves. America are very proud about what they've done themselves as a nation, so therefore taking on something home that's European, I think will be a bit too alien for them. But I'd like it. I think it would be great if there was a foothold in it where it would have its own little mini place.
It's raining.
It is raining, and that needs to stop because I'm finally going to actually do a decent lap. I hope. He says, lolling.
I'm right behind you.
Oh. Wow.
See, I was about to tell you you've gone wide in that corner, but you've got so much power down on the way out that I've realised that actually it's me that's taking the wrong line.
I love the fact that loads of people do that corner differently. And I have I don't know if it's a unique way of doing it or not, but that's my way of doing that corner. I wouldn't know if it's right or wrong compared to other people. It's one of those tracks. One thing I will say about the Chinese track is that I do see a lot of people taking a lot of different lines into a few of the corners, and that to me interests me. Oh my god, what is going on? There is literally 7 cars.
Yeah, I see it. And you've just, we've both just gone wide trying to avoid it.
I was a second up.
Oh, look at that. Look who's responsible. What a surprise.
Grosjean.
It's that French git again.
You'd have been pleased with me. I stopped his fast lap where I came out of the pits.
Good man.
That's teamwork for you.
Swings and roundabouts, Grosjean. I don't even know why I'm bothering to set another lap.
How far are we off Massa, who was 16th anyway, I wonder?
Quite a bit, I think. Plus, I'm bottom of the grid whatever happens, so...
That is true.
I'm going to pit in now and try and sound intelligent rather than trying to talk while setting a fast lap that doesn't matter.
Awesome. They all pitted. Right. I'm going to go for my hot lap then.
Yeah, go. I'll try not to distract you. I'll just talk to the viewer, perhaps.
The world.
Yeah. So, this again is really frustrating because I'm not particularly happy with 16th, but to get the penalty as well was it was a stupid mistake on my part, but it's obviously still very frustrating. Hopefully, though, by starting on the prime tyre and running on a tyre-friendly strategy, perhaps I can make it work for me. I mean, the problem is that since the rules have changed, you're not allowed to one-stop, because in Australia, in theory, I could have one-stopped. My primes were holding very, very nicely, actually, and when I stopped with 5 laps to go, they easily had another 5 laps in them. So, picking the strategy here is... I said I was going to sound intelligent. I've completely forgotten what I was going to say. But picking the strategy is going to be is going to be vital, especially now we are placed where we're placed. I'd be curious to see if Simon also thinks it's worth starting on the primes and both going for a longer stint.
Don't know. I think that there is doing something different always is awesome if you're the victor at the end of it. Sorry, that was making no sense at all. I was busy braking for a corner. I was like, ah!
This is the thing, it's really hard to talk like we do when we're doing the podcast when when you're driving.
That's so annoying. Do you know what? I had a purple first sector and then I came across traffic and then I blew it in the final one anyway, and that was annoying, but never mind. You done me again.
This again is continuing to astound me. It really is, because I genuinely expected, since we started this, I expected you to be in front. I think maybe, I mean, it could be a car thing. I'm not sure. Sauber has always been a car that's been quite friendly to me, and we've talked about this before, that this is the first game in the series where it feels really quite strongly there's a difference between the cars. And Sauber's one of the cars that I've come to like. I still think I'm fastest in a Force India of all the cars.
Okay.
The handling just between a Force India or a Toro Rosso, the handling just works really well for me. Mercedes, on the other hand, is perhaps my worst car.
I will agree with that, because there's something with the Mercedes where the cockpit feels too high.
Yes, I know what you mean. And actually, I did a bit of research on this, and there's another reason why it handles differently. Because out of all the cars, that is the one with the longest wheelbase.
Ah.
True facts.
True say. You heard it right here.
So basically, if you're playing in a league and you pick Mercedes, I imagine this still affects performance even if the cars are set to perform equally. So, in theory, you're setting yourself at a disadvantage by driving the Mercedes, because the the wider wheelbase just means corner performance suffers. End of. So, yeah, I'm glad we didn't go with them.
Thank God for that. I wouldn't have gone out of them in principle anyway.
So, I'm going to be stuck behind Charles Peak, and that bumps you up to 17th, which isn't too bad. Swinging distance again of some points.
Yeah. I'm annoyed I didn't get 15th, actually. That all went wrong in Sector 2 for me. Never mind. Onward!
Tally-ho.
Tally-ho! I should get a little cap up. I'll stop shrieking and crying and being dramatic.
He doesn't look happy again, does he?
There should be one where, like, after a whole season of just shaking your head, he just throws himself off a bridge. Look what you've done to me! Splat.
You see him with a bottle of gin and a handful of pills.
Syringe.
I tell you what, if we're playing this semi-realistically, if we get on to doing a second season, maybe we should demote ourselves to Marussia.
And stick it on Legend.
Yeah. I'm not ashamed to say though, I pro is my difficulty. Legendary just seems too amplified for me. And there'll be plenty of people watching who can absolutely tan the field in Legend AI, and to them I say well done.
Yeah.
But
then they're sitting there doing the probably the setups and all of that stuff, whereas we're just throwing ourselves at it.
Precisely. But what I found is previously when I used to play these games, I always played at a difficulty that I was comfortable with, and that just meant me leading a procession round basically. And with this game, I found that was even duller than usual. So I like to have a challenge. I like to be in the midfield, scrapping things up. Taking a look at the teammate challenge, it's still 2 in my favour, but I think this, Simon, is where you turn it around, because this is the last track I'm semi-competent at.
Okay.
And we're entering the phase where the tracks are definitely my weakest.
Awesome. It gives me vague hope. I bet you will suddenly start scoring and being decent then. I just need to get around the first lap without causing drama. That's all that I need to do, and then I might be vaguely all right. What are you thinking for strategy? Are you going to change yours?
Yep, changed it. I'm starting on primes again, pitting lap 9, and running on a cautious fuel strategy, just so I've got a bit more to burn, because we know I have that endearing habit of running out of fuel.
Okay, well I'm going to stick for good old basic and go for that. So, best of luck, my friend.
Yep.
And at least I won't be so conscious of that I've got to avoid you down into turn 1.
But yeah, because neither of us wants that. I mean, perhaps if this wasn't being filmed, maybe we'd be less reluctant about ramming each other and fighting for position. But it's just so embarrassing when you take each other out.
When I came back to Sim, because I've had a little bit of away from R Factor, when I came back to R Factor, my start on my very first race, you have to hold down a button for the clutch. I forgot, so I just revved it and leaped forward and smacked the guy in front. I was like, welcome back, Simon, welcome back.
So, Charles Peak, one of my other arch nemesis, is in front of me. Bin him off, out of my way. Oh, they're bunching up again already.
That might be me off to not the best start in the world.
Yeah, I'm just behind you.
Oh!
I've just seen you spin, you nearly took me.
What was going on there? Did I get a penalty for that?
I don't believe you hit anyone.
Okay. It was... I think I lagged, actually, because it was showing me as if I hit Massa. Oh my god, what was that?
That was Maldonado just turned right across me.
Oh.
But fortunately I didn't get a penalty and I held them up for you.
You did, and Hulkenberg's not got a front wing, so that's one of your German friends out.
Excellent. So considering I'm not on the option tyre, that was a really good start.
That's a really good start.
I don't want to jinx it now by saying, oh look how great that start was, but yeah.
It's gone well.
But again, it's one of those corners, and Istanbul Park's another one, where it's got long sweeping bends, and I just lose it on those all the time. I just can't seem to hold on in the corners.
Oh, I'm just so glad that I've not got a penalty yet.
Oh, I was way too late on the brakes.
Oh. Hello.
didn't lose too much. Just behind you. This is dangerous. I don't like us
Vaguely near each other.
being one behind the other.
It's alright, I'm on the mish.
I do like this corner.
Yeah.
And I can say this corner now because for once we're on the same corner, so. Oh, look at you. You've got so much more grip out of that corner than I do. Look at you going. Is that Rosberg in front of you?
Maldonado.
How was he in front of us, considering it was him that... I don't know.
It's good, I can actually see other cars and stuff. Okay, killer.
Yeah, this is where we're seeing it as it truly is, that you are actually faster than me. Definitely, consistently faster than me. He pulled out a 2.5 second gap and I've just gone wide again. And Rosberg is right up my trumpet.
Playing the tune.
Park. 150 board, Ben, 150 board. Idiot. The thing is also, it doesn't help that I've got so much fuel on board. It just pendulums me.
Yeah. So that's where the tow comes in that you can kind of space it all back out again a wee bit, but might do my usual turn one. Oh, I see points in the distance. Come on, come on!
There's a Mercedes and a Ferrari behind me. That's unnerving.
That is just you being awesome. I'm still in the back of a train.
As long as there's a train, that gives me some hope that I can catch up. I can see you guys in the distance. You've pulled out quite a big gap over me because I'm driving like a simpleton. Just out for a Sunday drive.
Remember though, you're not on the right, you're on different tyres to everyone, so that's you getting your good bits coming later. Okay, right, I'm going to have you in, oh no I'm not. Simon goes down one gear too much. Okay.
Alonso is lapping 5 seconds a lap faster than I'm managing. I know I am on the prime, but...
Oh, I'm half tempted. Yes!
You got him?
Yes!
Good man.
That's my obscure line into turn 1 and 2, working dividends there.
It's a really good line. I'm going to have to take some time to have a bigger think about that.
Fern. Come on. Overtaking is such a obscure skill because I always err on the side of caution, and I always give people, talking about online racing, not necessarily AI racing, but I always give people plenty of room when I'm going for the overtake, because when I defend I am proper choppy. And I know exactly the kind of chops that I like to make on people, which I still think are within the rules, but they're not necessarily nice. Because I think you can get away with a fair lot. Oh, now he's going to have me. Bugger.
Yeah, he has.
DRS. It's alright, I'll have him down into the hairpin then. Thank you very
Pulled out
much.
a gap over Rosberg somehow.
No, don't hit me, Maldonado, just because I got through, bitch.
There should be a mode in this game where at the end of a race you can do an Irvine and storm down the pit lane and punch someone in the face.
That's called F1 Race Stars. Have you played that, by the way?
I have not. The cartoony, childlike nature of it put me off.
Do you know what? It has got the most terriblest handling going for a kart game ever. It is so heavy, so heavy, to the point where you struggle to get round some of or most of the corners because it is that heavy. And it's a kart racing that promotes braking, which is a bit strange in itself anyway. But it is, even when you brake, you can't get around the corners. It's terrible. It's such a shame because actually the presentation and everything of it is quite good, even if it does go into racial stereotypes.
Oh dear.
It's like you click on burn, it'll go, ha ha! You're like, ooh, how did you get away with that one, Cody? Oh, stop! Oh no!
What's happened?
I went into neutral for no real reason. It's dropped me right off burn. Bugger. Alright, come on.
I took that corner much better. That's something. But you guys are now 6 seconds down the road.
Oh dear, I'm not even on the road. Oh, I'll have that back. Oh no, I won't.
It says you're running on full revs, so just check your fuel.
Am I? I'm not.
Or maybe it was when Maldonado was behind you.
Yeah.
I'm running on full revs, I need to turn down. I got it down to 5.85 back from you and Maldonado, but I mean...
Yeah, I went completely off the track on the hairpin. That was not a good move. By moi. Okay, right, we're on it.
You're in this lap, yeah?
Yep.
Which is good, which means maybe I can get Rosberg from out of me Jaxie.
Your Jaxie has seen all kinds of action during these things, hasn't
It has.
Get a bit worried for your rep.
I don't have a reputation.
Best way to be.
So I can feel the car getting lighter. The tyres are getting a bit stickier. Things are happening. That's good. Rosberg is fluctuating between 2 and 1.5 seconds behind me, so that's... I'll take it. You are still pulling away from me, Simon.
Awesome.
But, I mean, I guess I'll probably rope you in a bit during the pit stop phase when you're on new cold primes and I'm on heated ones. Neither Rosberg nor, I guess that's Massa,
Yeah.
has come into the pits, but I'm leapfrogging plenty of...
Yeah, there's loads of action in. 3.6 stop. That'll do me. That's Ricardo I've got just ahead of me, actually. So. Right, so we are out on the... whatever they are, white ones.
I've just overtaken Sebastian Vettel and nearly taken Button.
Oh wow.
That'll do.
Hold them up a smidge.
Vettel's behind me, so don't worry about him, but Button's going to start pulling away now once his tyres wake up.
That's alright, he's not scored yet this season. We can let him have some good luck. I don't think we'll be scoring this race, but this is by far the best normal showing that we've done so far.
No, Vettel, stay behind me. Your place is behind me. Don't even think about it either. Got 2 Germans behind me now.
Hey.
Are you at the back of the Ben train?
No. I'm at the back of the Duresta train.
Sorry, it sounded a bit like a pimp thing, that.
That one.
Jump on the Ben train.
You're gonna mix me up some hot beats.
Oh, Button, you crafty devil. Again, tyres holding up surprisingly well. If I didn't have to stop, I could bring it home here in 7th.
You do like your harder tyres, don't you?
Yeah, and it's surprising me, actually. But, you know, it's something I'm learning about myself as I go through. Because I never normally play this analytically. Because I have to talk about what I'm doing between races and think about where things have gone wrong, what we could have done better. And hopefully, you know, the analysis I can provide gets better as we go further through the series. Sorry, I just interrupted myself because I've just been told I'm faster than Button in Sector 1.
Awesome.
And we've lost Rosberg. So that's exciting.
Have we? He was in the pits as I went by.
Alright, well, that's good.
Oh yes, DRS on Ricardo, come on.
Vettel still thinks he's allowed to go past me. Oh, double overtake! Button ran wide into turn 1.
Excellent.
Now running 5th and I still have to pit. That's so depressing.
Boo. But you may be gaining quite nicely.
Well, there's a train behind me, so I'm not going to get any points, but I might get a reasonable finish.
But what that's doing is that's helping me out because I've actually got round people during this phase, and now I've just gone mix 3, which may very well sort me out a bit because I'm now 12th. When you come in, that could put me 11th. I've got Duresta right in front of me, so there is chance.
Oh good, I'm glad I'm helping out tactically if nothing else.
Oh yeah, you are.
Oh, Buttons just clipped my rear wheel, but it didn't hurt me, it hurt him, so thanks for that. Okay, there's the brake marker. This is a frustrating thing. He's just told me time's looking really good. I'm matching race pace. Oh, pit in for new tyres.
Is that you in?
Yeah, it's me in.
Okay. Right, I'd caught the back of that train pretty much. I'm now 11th. I've got Duresta in front of me, who's 10th, and I'm going to go for it. Come on, come on. Simon's weird little move into turn 1. It works! I'm in the points!
Excellent! Hey!
Button's right ahead of me as well.
Feel sorry for Nico Rosberg.
What have you done?
Guess where he is yet again?
Right on your derriere.
Once again, trapped behind me.
Make that rear end larger than a shelf like lady.
Come on. I'm pleased about that. I'm pleased that I had enough pace on my in-lap to keep him behind me. Because we're keeping Mercedes and Ferrari out of the points, basically.
Awesome. Well, there we go. We can say, at least touch wood so far, things are getting better.
Plus now I've only got to last 4 laps on these options. The chance of me losing grip on them and it coming to bite me in the backside are quite slim, one would hope. Not even I can churn through tyres that quickly. But I am thinking more about what I'm doing to my tyres. I'm using rumble strips less as well.
Rumble strips. When this game first came out, I'm sure it was on this one, there was a big thing about more the PC version and the PS3 version that actually they would cause real problems with the tyres, and what was the other thing they were doing as well? There was big problems with the engines over revving and exploding everywhere.
Oh yeah, I suffered with that really badly. But I mean, a lot of people were complaining it was a bug, and I was quite happy to say no, it's my bad driving. I'm too aggressive. I'm soaring the throttle. I admit the shortcomings in my driving and say, look, I'm perhaps playing on a realism setting that is not suitable for me.
Yeah. I think that's what it came out to say in the end, didn't they? Was that actually sort your own driving out?
that is what they said, but I mean, I don't feel I'm driving any differently now to what I was then. Well, not vastly differently in how I'm handling the throttle, but I'm not having the same problem. In fact, the problem is that I always say this. The new generation of gamers that are coming through, they're very risk averse. You know, they're used to playing MMOs, for example, where your character never dies and your inventory can be shared across time and space instantly. So, you know, you don't have to go pick up an item because it breaks the gameplay up. Things like that. And so what you've seen is, I mean, one of my favourite things about Formula 1 games of old was that there was random failures, which you don't get now.
Yeah. No, that's very true, actually, because and it's seen as a bad thing that you can't control everything, and actually there should be an element of, do you know what, that was just a bit of bad luck, and yeah, it does suck. I don't know. But maybe we're a stickler for too much realism.
Well, I mean, that's why I'm a fan of all the roguelike games coming out. You know, games like Faster Than Light, which there is an element of skill to, but sometimes you're in a fight and you just can't win it, and that's just bad luck. Mm-hmm. You know, and asking them to change it is the equivalent of playing a choose-your-own-adventure book with your finger indexing the page where you made the decision, so you can always go back if you don't like the outcome. I mean, the fact is, yeah, you do get into fights in FTL that you can't win, but sometimes, you know, you can think, well, there is a decision I made that put me in a weakened position for this battle that, you know, if I'd done things differently, played a bit more conservatively, maybe I would have got through that fight.
Yeah.
And, you know, and some games revel in the fact that it annoys people to a certain extent, and I kind of like that. Like, you've been playing Super Wagon Adventure, right?
Yes.
And there's lots of games like that where there's just that comedy game over screen where it's like, so-and-so has died of dysentery. I think that's brilliant. I absolutely love that. Right, let's turn up the fuel mixture a bit since I've got 2 extra laps on board.
Oh no!
Oh dear. What?
Fiddle my stick.
You've taken some slight damage to the front wing.
Oh, I was getting to Nudges. Up to you, mate. Oh no, you're behind me still.
Yeah. Shiver your timbers.
Ah, that was 10th. That was 10th. I was getting 2 tenths behind. You know when you get to the point where you start overdriving because you're thinking, oh god, I'm in a position here?
Yeah.
I was doing that. Oh, silly me, silly me. Still, this 14th and 15th should sort us out to get us ahead of the Pui teams, hopefully.
Oh, I can see you.
Oh, what a shame. There was this big gaggle from about 6th down to 13th, and I was sitting in 10th in it, and it was going all nice and swimmingly, and I started overdriving. I do this in sim racing as well, actually. When it gets towards the end of a race, I'm like, right, you're good enough here, and it's almost as if I take on a different mentality behind the wheel and start to second guess things, and then it doesn't come naturally, and then you end up doing stupid stuff.
No, I know what you mean. My last lap of a race, any race, is always slower than my consistent pace. Always, always, always. Because what I start doing is, and I'm doing it as I'm talking to you now, right? I'm feeling the car a lot more, if that makes some sense.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of thinking to myself, is that a twitch? Is that a twitch? Is it going to go? Is it going to go? Because so many times I've been burnt on the last lap or a second to last lap on like a hairpin corner where I've hit the throttle a bit too vigorously and spun the car around and lost 8 positions with a lap to go or something stupid. Yeah. And I become so acutely aware of it that I drive assuming the worst.
Yes.
Like I just pulled off the throttle there. I would say within 20 metres of you there, and now you're away by 30, maybe 40 metres. Because going through that final corner, I lifted off the throttle because I thought I felt myself spinning.
Mm-hmm.
And here I get to see your masterful line. Oh, I've got marbles on my tyres now. See, this is just going to induce my paranoia.
Yeah. Whether or not that actual grip even changes or not is another matter, but you've already psychologically gone, the rumble.
Well, to be honest, I think the marbles do have an effect, actually.
Yeah, they do, but...
I don't even know why I'm so worried anyway. All I've got to do is keep these guys behind me. I'm multi-21 in the situation. I'm not going to try. I'm not going to try and get past you because we really need this finish. We really need this finish.
Yes, we do. This is a good little placer map for us to then leapfrog forward in the future. Ah!
The problem is they're so much more aggressive on the last lap, the AI.
I can see they're swarming you. That looked like an oval coming off the final that corner there for you three as I look back.
No, Massa, you're not allowed.
Actual number 2. Yeah, you got that one.
Oh, is it sad that I'm happy with 15th?
Not after our first 2 races, it's not. No. 14, 15.
Oh, but I mean, up from a grid position of 24th. But look at that, my race pace is 1 second off you.
Let's have a little looking down. Button got 2 points. Hurrah! See, I was in the 40s there, and that could have got me. Bruno Senna was 7th, and he was slower.
Yeah, he was. So was Grosjean, the rest.
I was catching all that little shindig, but I just decided to bin it instead. Never mind.
I'm just trying to figure out how I'm ending up a second down.
Because you're faster over 1 lap.
Yeah, that's the strange thing. But I mean, as always, my consistency in a race has always been a sticking point, and it's something I need to work on. I mean, I felt for most of that race, I felt I was consistently driving on the edge. Like I was pretty close to the limit, but you pulled away from me really, really quickly. Really quickly. You developed a 6-second lead over 2.5 laps, I think. I just need to work on my corner setups on that track.
Contrary to what my first 2 races were like, normally my skill is being able to not have to worry too much about cold tyres, because I think I just throw the car around anyway, and I think because I'm not scared of it, that means that I'm always quite good at the very opening of a race in general. The first 2 races obviously not so much because I was busy smacking into everyone, but that's probably because I feel that I have more grip than maybe what I do. I don't know, but awesome. That puts us 17th and 18th in the Drivers' Championship.
Yeah, taking a look at the drivers now, you've leapfrogged me and you're 17th. Woo. And in the constructors, we're back where we belong in position 9 behind the Toro Rossos, who've somehow got 6 points out of 3 races. So yeah, happy days.
Red Bull have leapfrogged up to the top as well, so wow. Oh, HRT down last. Marusha's ahead of Caterham as well. Shock. Okay. Well, that's the first 3 rounds out the way, and done pretty good. Join us again for another F1 2012 co-op.
Disaster. You missed a word there, Simon.
I was playing on the air of caution.
Yeah, join us again for Bahrain, though. Thank you for watching.
Kudos.